When it comes to world leaders, Andrzej Duda is a relative unknown, despite having been president of Poland since August 2015. As head of the fifth most populous country in the EU and a nation of great geographical importance, this guy's policies have the potential to either please or upset a lot of people. So just who is Andrzej Duda? How's he doing at his job? And what could his leadership style mean for Poland and the rest of the world? It's about time we found out. Welcome to Neapolitan. We're going to dive into where he's from, how he got here, and look at the man he is today. We'll look at it broken down into three unique sections, like Neapolitan ice cream. The vanilla, the who, what, where, and one of the folks that changed the world. Chocolate, that flavor punch. Controversy and adversity make lives so interesting. And the strawberry, the lasting legacy and lick that all Neapolitan lives come with. If you're interested in other videos like this, or different in-depth looks at essential people throughout history, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel with post notifications on, so you never miss a single one. Without further ado, let's get into it. Vanilla. Andrzej Duda was born on May 16, 1972, in the city of Krakow, Poland. Both of his parents were professors at the AGH University of Science and Technology. Duda's maternal grandfather was a cavalry officer who fought against the Soviets in the Polish-Soviet War between 1918 and 1921, and also fought against the Germans during the Second World War. Andrzej has publicly expressed great pride in his heritage and had what many consider to be a traditional Polish upbringing. He grew up in a patriotic household and adopted typical Polish values, as well as having faith in the Roman Catholic religion. It therefore comes as no surprise that one of Duda's all-time heroes is Pope John Paul II, a former head of the Roman Catholic Church who was born in Poland. Duda has also named the resistance fighters who participated in the 1944 Warsaw Uprising against the Germans as heroes. During his youth, Andrzej Duda was a choir boy, and then a Boy Scout, joining the 5th Krakow Scouting Troop Piorun, named after the legionaries of 1914. Becoming a Scout Master is another source of great pride for Duda, and features prominently on his official presidential webpage. He constantly talked about it during his presidential campaign, which may seem a bit weird to outsiders, but in Poland, Boy Scouts are closely associated with characteristics such as patriotism, heroism, honesty, and self-sacrifice. Many resistance fighters in Polish history were known to be Boy Scouts. Andrzej clearly inherited intelligence from his academic parents, as he excelled in school. He studied humanities at Jan III Sobieski High School before going on to obtain a Master of Law degree from Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland's oldest university. He later served as a research assistant in the university's Department of Administrative Law, in addition to working as a lecturer at Mieszko I College of Education and Administration in Poznan. Not only a brilliant student, but an accomplished skier, Duda participated in the Polish Academic Championships in alpine skiing while at university. In the spring of 2005, Andrzej set up his own law firm, and later that same year became a legislation expert for the Law and Justice Parliamentary Caucus. From there, Duda entered into the world of politics and served in several positions, including Deputy Minister of Justice in 2006 and Undersecretary of State in the Chancellery of the President in 2008. In 2010, he won a seat in the City Council of Krakow and assumed the position of Chairman of the Club of Law and Justice City Councilors. He later served as Deputy Chair of the Committee of Constitutional Liability and in 2013 assumed the position of Press Spokesman for Law and Justice. The guy certainly has an impressive resume that reads like a game of political musical chairs. Anyway, in August 2015, he secured the top gig of President of the Republic of Poland when he won 51.55% of the vote, narrowly beating out then-President Bronisław Komorowski. In 2020, Duda was re-elected, again receiving 51% of the vote, but this time beating Warsaw Mayor Rafał Trzaskowski. Throughout his election campaigns, Duda has always been supported by his wife, Agata, whom he met while studying at high school and who now teaches German at the very same school. Agata's father is Julian Kornhauser, a well-known writer, translator, and literary critic. Andrzej and Agata have one daughter together, Kinga, who was born in 1995. In 2020, Andrzej appointed Kinga to be an unpaid advisor on social issues, whatever that involves. Chocolate. Just 1 month after becoming president, Duda was already butting heads with top European officials on the issue of asylum seekers. The Polish leader rejected the EU's proposal of migrant quotas to redistribute asylum seekers, stating categorically, "I won't agree to a dictate of the strong. I won't back a Europe where the economic advantage of the size of a population will be a reason to force solutions on other countries, regardless of their national interests." Eventually, Poland did agree to take in 2,000 asylum seekers from countries such as Syria and Eritrea as an expression of European solidarity. The European Union had initially requested that they take in 3,700. Within 6 months of his presidency, Duda came under fire from officials in his own country after seeming to breach the Polish constitution on numerous occasions. In November 2015, he pardoned Mariusz Kaminski and 3 officers from the Central Anti-Corruption Bureau after they had been charged in court for involvement in the 2007 land affair. The pardon marked the first time in Polish history that a president had pardoned someone before the court had even reached a final verdict. It is suspected that Duda had personal biases. Then in December 2015, Duda kicked off what has been dubbed the Polish Constitutional Tribunal crisis by signing the Constitutional Tribunal Bill, which, according to the National Council of the Judiciary of Poland, the Public Prosecutor General, and the Polish Ombudsman, undoubtedly breaches the Constitution of Poland. Without going into too much detail, it involved the appointing of judges to the Constitutional Tribunal. In February 2018, Duda announced that he would sign into law a controversial amendment to the Act on the Institute of National Remembrance. The amendment would make it illegal to accuse the Polish nation of complicity in the Holocaust and other Nazi German atrocities. Needless to say, this announcement did not sit well with countries like Israel, whose Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused the Polish government of Holocaust denial. After offending the Jewish community, Duda fell out of favor with the LGBT crowd in 2020 when he stated he would not allow gay couples to marry or adopt children. He went as far as to call the LGBT movement a foreign ideology and compared it to indoctrination that happened in the Soviet Union. Upon receiving backlash to his comments, the Polish president simply claimed freedom of speech before signing a proposal to amend the Polish constitution to ban LGBT couples from adopting children. The fact that Duda cited freedom of speech is kind of ironic, seeing as in Poland many critics have accused the government of seeking to introduce measures that would limit free speech. In 2021, a Polish writer was indicted for insulting the president, calling Andrzej Duda an idiot. This is because there are insult laws in Poland, which criminalize disparaging comments and, if breached, can result in a prison term of up to 3 years, although often the perpetrator receives a fine or community service. The writer was not the only one to fall foul of this harsh law, as in 2021, a 20-year-old woman and 3 youths were charged in court after yelling, "F. Duda," during the previous year's electoral campaign. 2021 was also a worrying year for some Poles in terms of media ownership, as a controversial bill was passed that would prevent companies from outside the European Economic Area from owning a majority stake in Polish media groups. The passing of the bill was widely seen as an attack on the independent broadcaster TVN, which is majority owned by United States media conglomerate Discovery. TVN has been accused of being critical of the Polish government, and the fears are that the bill is just an attempt to silence free speech. The U.S. State Department said that the proposed law would undermine freedom of expression, weaken media freedom, and erode foreign investors' confidence in their property rights and the sanctity of contracts in Poland. Strawberry. Running a country that borders the likes of Germany, Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus, among others, must be tough at the best of times. But in the current climate with an ongoing pandemic and a war raging on the country's doorstep, let's just say there aren't too many sane people who envy the Polish president's job right now. But by many accounts, he seems to be doing a commendable job. Andrzej Duda has received multiple national honors during his tenure, including the Order of the White Eagle, as well as foreign honors from no less than 13 different European countries. Along with Croatian President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović, Duda was an originator of the 3 Cs initiative, which he described at the first summit meeting in 2016 as a new concept to promote Europe's unity and cohesion, an idea of cooperation among 12 countries located between the Adriatic, Baltic, and Black Seas, the 3 Cs of Central Europe. In response to Russia's annexing of Crimea and its aggressive actions against Ukraine since 2014, Duda helped to establish the Bucharest 9, or B9, an organization consisting of Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovakia, Romania, and Poland. Duda has also called for more American troops to be stationed on Polish soil. Back in 2020, Donald Trump said that Poland is one of the few countries that are fulfilling their obligations under NATO, in particular, their monetary obligations, and they asked us if we would bring some additional troops. At a 2022 B9 summit, Duda stated that, "We want the enhanced forward presence that we have today on NATO's eastern flank to be extended. We want the existing battalion groups to be transformed into brigade groups." Poland has given Ukraine military aid worth at least $1.7 billion to help in its war against Russia, and over 3 million Ukrainian refugees have resettled in Poland. However, while refugees from Ukraine are being welcomed, Poland recently completed building a new steel wall at its border to prevent undocumented asylum seekers from arriving in Belarus. The wall is 186 kilometers, 115 miles long, stands 5.5 meters, 18 feet tall, and costs 353 million euros, $407 million to build. Its presence has resulted in a human rights crisis wherein at least 20 migrants have died in the freezing forests and bogs nearby. Journalists and rights workers were blocked from attending the area when a state of emergency was declared. As for trade, Duda has expressed much support for China's Belt and Road Initiative, having met many times with President Xi Jinping, and declaring that Polish companies will benefit hugely from the massive project. Duda has even stated his desire for Poland to become a gateway to Europe for China. If you like this video and want to see more like it, then make sure to leave a like so we know what you think and can continue to bring you the kind of videos you want to see. Let us know if you think there was anything we missed or if you'd like to see someone else in particular in the future. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the material we've shown or other videos like this. Check out the other videos on this channel for fascinating looks into historical figures like this. Until next time, this has been Neapolitan, and we'll see you around.